Hi, it's Representative Rick Larsen, and this is this week's weekly recap with Rick. I'm dressed down a little bit today because although I'm in Washington, D.C., there are no votes today because of heavy snow. We were able to get some work done by Thursday and have folks get out of town to avoid the snow. That said, there's still people in my office working today. I'm one of them, and I'll be traveling home early next week for what we call a district work period. But this past week in Congress, there were several things that I was involved in. One was a hearing on the state of transportation, which I have to say is very strong. Because of the bipartisan infrastructure law, which we passed a couple of years ago, the state of transportation in the United States is strong because there's funding to do the repairs and the rebuilds and the maintenance that is necessary to keep our transportation system moving. Just to give you an idea of this, we know that because of the BIL, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, and the Inflation Reduction Act, we can keep our economy moving by creating jobs for the women and men in construction who are building the next generation of infrastructure. We are building a cleaner, a greener, a much more efficient, and much more accessible transportation system for everyone. We also had a hearing on rail safety. In response to the East Palestine derailment last year, we've been clamoring in Congress to get a rail safety hearing. This was our first hearing since that derailment, specifically on rail safety, and we were able to bring up issues related to the changes that are necessary to ensure not just decreasing derailments, but how to decrease accidents and incidents at grade crossings where rail and road meet. And although railroads have seen a significant decline in the number of accidents and incidents over the last 40 years, there's still a lot of work done to improve rail safety. I mentioned the bipartisan infrastructure law, and those investments are making a huge difference. In rail safety alone, the Federal Railroad Administration to date has announced $26.7 billion worth of projects to 238 rail safety projects around the country, including $2 million for the city of Burlington to identify which of the 16 at-grade rail crossings they can change to ensure that there's a grade separation. So where road and rail meet currently, they would make changes so that road and rail do not meet, thereby creating much safer crossings for folks. Next week, as I noted, is the district work period. I'll be flying back to Washington State in a few days. And during that time, do a lot of meetings, but importantly next week, I'll be releasing my district opioid report outlining how Congress and the Biden administration can best partner with local governments, local healthcare providers, local law enforcement to help fight opioids and fentanyl in the 2nd Congressional District. Tribes, law enforcement, healthcare providers, community partners, all are working together to tackle the opioid epidemic and to get people struggling with addiction the treatment and recovery that they all need. So watch this space for that report. So thanks for tuning in this week to the weekly recap with Rick. Next week I'll be home and we'll be able to do it from home after we can get out of the snow in Washington, D.C. And for those who are socked in the district, please take care of yourself. Please follow instructions from your local health departments about what's appropriate to heat your home. And please contact your local energy provider if your power is out. We want you to be safe and be as safe as possible in this time where things are really, really rough, especially in the north end of the district. Thanks.